You want a man that can stand up to you. They don't want to walk all over you, even if they act like they do.
A woman really secretly does want a man to put her in her place. She does not want to acknowledge that. She will not acknowledge that. She will adamantly oppose that to that man, but she wants him to do it anyway and to not be influenced by the fact that she doesn't like it or that at the surface level. You can have situations where you're going to say something. She's not going to like it. She's going to be upset about it. And you're going to have to be okay with that.
Right.
Because if you then back down or you change your mind because now she's upset, like if you honestly change your mind as a man, you shouldn't be stubborn.
Right.
Change your mind. But if you change your mind because now your woman is upset with you, that's not trustworthy.
I was going to say, guys really need to listen to what you're saying and watch the episode too, because I think if they realize that if they remain calm, cool, and collected, and stand firm, but still be kind and like respectful of the situation, they're way more likely to get the result that they want. The second that they like also yell or they call her names or they try to belittle her is the second a woman gets afraid, oh, he's going to always act like this. I don't want to do that. And either I don't want to be with him.
Right.
Or they're going to try to be more controlling because now they're afraid that you're controlling and aggressive and those sort of things. So if you come at it the way that he did and the way that you're talking about, you're way more likely to influence your woman.
For sure, yeah.
And in the positive. And if you are the leader of the relationship and you are the masculine man, I understand this is asking a lot, but you're the leader. Like, you have to lead by example.
Right.
You cannot do the wrong thing.
Right.
You cannot yell. You cannot belittle her. You cannot handle any sort of problem like that the wrong way and expect to not be held accountable for that. Right. Because if you're accountable for everything in the relationship because you're the captain of the ship, you're accountable for when you handle things the wrong way too. And I get that that's putting a lot on men, but you can't have it all. And then when you make mistakes, not own up to those.
Right.
So that's why I think it's very important for men to realize that, yes, you do, in the face of even an altercation or a situation, that you have to be calm, cool, and collected, and you have to be respectful.
Right.
Even if, you're hurt by whatever the woman's saying or things like that, because you are leading by example and you will influence the woman. And also too, you will have known that you did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you'll have confidence in that. And then you'll also get to see how she responds to that. Because there are some instances where if you do everything the right way and you're respectful and then someone's still blowing up on you and being disrespectful, you're like, look, it's easy. It's like, hey, okay, like she always responds this way. Right. It's probably not going to change. And I've held constant to being respectful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that's what Tim's dealing with, right? Like, I highly doubt that's their last altercation.
Right.
And even though she was like, you disrespected me, to be honest, when she was describing it, granted, I know they edit these shows, that she was choosing to call something disrespectful that probably wasn't really that disrespectful. Just so she could say she was disrespected. Because she was talking about like, you didn't leave me alone so I could deal with it. That's not being disrespectful.
Right.
Like, it's really not. Like, I get... You can ask for some time in the right way, but I doubt she asked for it in the right way. She was probably just like, leave me alone. I don't want to deal with you right now. Right. And then he was probably like, no, let's work on this. And she called that disrespectful, which is not disrespectful.
No.
But all I'm saying is, if you do the right thing and you remain respectful, you'll also have the boost of knowing that you did the right thing in this situation. And you have to. Like, I'm not saying that you won't make mistakes, but also if you're the leader and you make a mistake, you should also be coming to them first and be like, hey, I messed up here.
Yeah.
I will do better next time. Because you have to, as a man, you have to promote confidence in yourself as a leader to a woman. And I'm telling you that even a woman like her, that type of man like Tim is the only man that could influence her to be different.
For sure, yeah.
Or either she has to figure it out on her own.
Yeah.
It's either she figures it out on her own or she has a man like that guy where he will walk away and she'll be like, crap, that was actually a really good guy and I messed it up and try to fix it. And she might even not be able to fix it. And to be honest, if it's as bad as he's acting like it is in that episode, it's probably not fixable.
Yeah. The truth is most women will not learn this until they meet a real man.
Right. And then they'll
learn it. And then they'll realize that, oh, yeah, this guy's not... he's not just going to take this and just be here.
Which
right?
is what women want.
Right,
Like they act like they want men to do whatever they want. They don't. Because I was also that woman that I was like, this is my way. And, I was controlling and I was independent. I'm like, I want him to do whatever I want, sort of thing. Right. But then if you really think about it, that isn't what women want.
No, it's not.
Because you want a man that can stand up to you. That's also why she wasn't like, okay, I'm done with you. She was like, I'm so sorry, hugging all over him. And he's still like, I don't know if I want to be with you. Because he's like, his boundary got crossed, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I should be walking away. And he had enough like thought into it that I believe that he would have upheld his boundary. I know that he didn't, but he also put enough emphasis on it where I thought he was potentially not going to go back to her. But you can tell that she respected that because she clung to him.
Right, exactly, yeah.
If she really was disrespected and had self-respect for herself, she would have been acting like him and been like, actually, I don't think like we can do this because you disrespected me. But he really didn't.
Right.
And so she was clinging to him because he was upholding his boundaries. He was having respect for himself.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. Like you have to be able to walk away. You have to have these boundaries as a man. You have to be the role model and the leader to have the influence. And women do want that, no matter what they say.
No, I know.
They do want that because they already feel like they're so tough and strong, right? And they have these boundaries and they have this self-respect that they don't want to walk all over you, even if they act like they do.
Right. Women want a man who put them in their place, and then they want to tell that man that they don't want him to put them in their place, and they don't like that, and they don't find that attractive, but then they want him to not care. That she said that. It's
a lot. That was very Love is Blind explanation of you.
But it is true if you really think about what I'm saying, is that a woman really secretly does want a man to put her in her place. She does not want to acknowledge that. She will not acknowledge that. She will adamantly oppose that to that man, but she wants him to do it anyway and to not be influenced by the fact that she doesn't like it or that at the surface level because she needs it, right? And it might seem harsh, but it's not meant to be harsh and it shouldn't be done in a harsh way, but a woman has to be checked. And if she feels like a man won't check her, she doesn't feel safety. No one would feel safety if you don't feel like you're going to be checked from time to time.
And it also makes you feel like your man's being honest with you. Because just like the guy with Monica, how does he actually really feel? Because he's just agreeing with everything that she's saying.
Yeah.
If a man is like, hey, like that wasn't cool, he's telling you the truth.
Right.
And even if it's a hard thing to hear, he's telling you the truth. And you're right. It should still be in like a respectful, kind way to bring things up. Like, I think when people freak out over words, so saying like put her in her place, I get what you're saying.
I get it, but
it's being honest and it's telling her the truth even when that truth might be hard for her to hear.
Right.
But again, if you do it in the right way, then you don't have to worry about being perceived in a negative way. And even if she's upset about it, if you do it in the right way, she's less likely to have any sort of negative response, or she'll come to you more vulnerable and being like, hey, I'm really sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do that. And she might talk to you about, why, like what triggered her, something like that. So doing it in the right way is key. And again, it goes back to, you do have to do it as the leader. You have to do it in the right way.
Well, and I just have a coaching client of mine that I was telling him about how essentially you're going to have situations, because everything is fine and dandy now, but you're going to have situations where you're going to say something, she's not going to like it, she's going to be upset about it, and you're going to have to be okay with that.
Right.
Because if you then back down or you change your mind because now she's upset, like if you honestly change your mind as a man, you shouldn't be stubborn.
Right.
Change your mind. But if you change your mind because now your woman is upset with you, that's not trustworthy. You can't. That's not authentic. That's not a person I can trust.
Right.
Right. It's like,
because you're easily swayed.
Yeah. If I have someone who's coaching me, and they tell me this is what you should do, and I'm like, no, I don't think so, and they're like, okay, well, I guess you're right.
Right.
I'm like,
They're not
okay,
gonna trust you.
I don't, how am I trusting this person to give me advice or to lead me in any way? Because they can't deal with me being upset with them.
Right.
They're just going to change their tune. There's like, is that really, do you really believe it this time? Is this really true? You just changed what you said, you know? So.